Hey loves, this is Bobby and I'm here with another video. And this is going to be 5 fantasy series I need to read in the new year. Yes, I have had these on my TBR for a while. I really want to read them. One of these has been on my TBR for years, like years, and I need to get to them. I think I actually did a video with it earlier this year saying books I need to read, and I didn't get to them, but these are on the top of my list for the new year. I need to get to them. Like, I have to. There's no excuses for me because I'm excited for all of them. It's not like it's a chore, but I want to read them. So let's get this one started. The first one is one that is very polarized. At first I heard nothing but amazing things, and as time has gone on, I've heard more and more people that didn't like it, but I'm still super interested in it and I need to get to it because it sounds like something really cool and something I would really enjoy. And that is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. This sounds really cool. Definitely something I would like. It has kind of like an academic kind of feel to it almost that I've heard, and a lot of people really liked that. Like I said, I've heard mixed things, but it's been on my radar forever now, and how I still haven't read it, I don't know. We follow the story of a girl named Rin who is an orphan, and to get out of like an arranged marriage, she decides to take this test to get accepted into being trained as a soldier. Well, lo and behold, she does, and I believe she gets like super high marks and everything, and we kind of go from there with her and her journey through this. I believe this is a trilogy, if I'm not mistaken. I think the third book just came out. I'm not sure if there's more, but I finally was gifted the physical copy of this one. I believe I had the Kindle edition, but now that I actually have the physical and it's staring at me and like judging me, it's like read me, I really plan on it. This is probably one of the first ones in the new year that I want to read. I still want to stick to my readathons and stuff, but as soon as I can find a prompt that this will fit, I definitely want to read it. The next one is the one that's been on my TBR and my shelf for years. I actually started it once and I only got maybe 2 chapters in, and then I just never picked it back up again. So yeah, and it's one of those ones that's really highly recommended when it comes to fantasy, and I need to read the series. Like, I need to. There's no excuse. And that is The Lies of Lockermora by Scott Lynch. We follow the story of a guy named Lockermora who is a thief and not a good guy. Like, from what I heard, a lot of these characters are kind of like assholes, and you don't really like a lot of them, but they're like the assholes that you want to buy a beer for. So I don't know, I'm really interested in this one. I believe this has like a religion where lies is like their basis for everything. It sounds really cool. His group of people are called the Gentlemen Bastards, which I love that. But like I said, I've had this recommended to me so many times, especially in the past. I started it years ago, I only got like a chapter or 2 in, and then I put it down and just never picked it back up. So, and it's been featured before, and I really need to get to it. Like, I need to. The next one is one that I really found out about once I joined BookTube, and especially now I hear a lot of people constantly talking about it, and it's all booktubers and reviewers that I trust. So, and it's got my interest piqued because it sounds really different, and I know it's got switches in the kind of point of view that that is set, and that is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. I believe this is like one of like the only series where every single book in the series has won like awards. Like, all of them. And I've heard very mixed things about this one. A lot of people seem to either really love it or really just not click with them. But it sounds really cool. We follow a planet that gets, it's what's known, I believe, as the 5th season, which is like this catastrophic event that makes the world kind of barren, I believe it is. I don't know what too many of these are about because I like to go into books blind, but this one's one like I kind of know because I've seen. And we alternate between 3 point of views as well as changing first person, third person type of thing, I think it is, which might throw me, but I am excited. I believe I was spoiled a bit on part of this, but honestly, I don't mind the spoiler. It made me more interested in it. So I am very curious about this one. I'm not sure where this is on my list of books I really want to get to because I'm really interested in it, but at the same time I'm a little hesitant because of the changing point of view writing style. I've never really been into that, so that I'm curious about. But I did just read Harrow the Ninth, which does the same thing, and I was fine, but I did the audiobook, so I might be doing the audiobook for this one. I'm not 100% sure, but I am very curious about it. I've seen so many good things about it, so I need to get to it. This next one is one that I've heard about in book groups on Facebook that I'm in. I'm in a few fantasy book groups, and this one gets mentioned a lot, and it piqued my interest, so I looked into it, and it sounds freaking wild. And this one is the top of the list, except the last one, but I'll explain that in a second. But this next one is just, I want to, like, it might be one of the very top books that I read in the new year, because it just sounds like a crazy ride. And that is Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames. We follow the story of a band of warriors who they have disbanded. They're like middle-aged, fat drunks. Some of them have started a family and everything. Like, they're basically all dads. They're like your middle-aged kind of dad. And one of them, I think the daughter, gets kidnapped, and they have to put the band back together to go get her and save her. And I've just heard this is like full of like dad jokes, and it's just kind of like really weird to have these really out of shape kind of guys being heroes. It sounds really fun, and I've heard it reads a lot like a D&D kind of game, and I think it just sounds awesome. Like, I cannot wait to get to this one. I said it's on the top of my list. I believe there are 2 books in this series, which is this one and Bloody Rose is the second one, but I have both of them. But it just sounds so freaking cool and just funny. I've heard it's really hilarious, so I can't wait for this one. This one is like the top of the new year for me. Like, I need to get to it. I've been wanting to. It's been staring at me, and I keep trying to, like, okay, let me sit down and read it. Let me read it. But I keep jumping into other things. But now I know, like, first of the new year, this is like top ones for January. This last one, I said that Kings of the Wild was the first for the new year, because technically I'm going to be starting the first book this month in December, but I want to finish the rest of the series in January, or get as many as I can in January because I don't want to burn myself out, because there is quite a few books and they're very, very long. So that is going to be Brandon Sanderson's The Way of the Kings. I have the split edition. I have the whole split editions for it. I believe there are 4. I think the 4th book just came out, and I want to wait for the pretty split edition that comes out eventually for that one. But I'm actually like holding myself off from buying a book because I'm like, I want the split edition, and these are very long. Split into 2, so these books are, I believe, are over 1,000 pages. I don't know what these are about. I have gone into pretty much every single one of Brandon Sanderson's books without knowing anything about them, and I've loved that about them, because they just surprise me, because his magic system and his world building are so freaking amazing, as well as his religions that he builds into these stories. Like, I just love them, so I don't like knowing too much about the series. So I'm like iffy about really learning. I've not had any spoilers for like any of his books, and I don't know how that is, because they're like literally recommended constantly or talked about constantly. But I know this one we have different point of views, and there's like a good cast of characters, which that always scares me, is like huge cast of characters, because there's always gonna be someone that I just really don't care for. But all of his books have been pretty much 5-star. I think I had 1 or 2 4-stars. I can't remember. But I think they all have been 5 stars for me, because they're just phenomenal. His writing is amazing. I love just absolutely everything. But yeah, so I can't really tell you what these are about, because I don't want to know. And I'm afraid of looking anything up, because I'm afraid I'm going to be spoiled, especially with the newest book just coming out from the series. That I don't want anything. I don't want to know anything. But I will be starting this one. This is on my TBR for December. But I want to finish the rest of the series in the new year. I have to. I've read 5 of his books. This will be the 6th of his books that I have read this year alone. So I no doubt that I'm going to get through all of them. I do the audiobooks for his because his narrators are amazing. Like, they are the best I've heard. Like, I love them. I follow along as much as I can with the physical book though, because there's a lot of information. There's a lot going on because he has just, his world is just so massive and he just goes down to the deepest details of stuff. So yes, this is though top of my list. I will be getting into it later this month. So watch out for my vlogs. I will be talking about my whole experience with reading these because, like I said, I have loved every single one of his books. So there we go. Those are the 5 fantasy series that I need to read in the new year. No excuses. They're all ones I'm super excited about. I cannot wait to get to every single one of these. The order of which I'm not really sure, except Way of the Kings and Kings of the Wild. Kings of the Wild. 2 King books. Those are the ones that are like top of my list, but Poppy War is very close in there as well because I'm just really curious about that one, especially because the setting is something I'd really like. But I know that one has quite a few trigger warnings, so I gotta look into those. But yes, that's what's what. I hope you liked this video. I would love to know what are your top books that you want to get into in the new year, especially your series and everything, because all of these are part of a series. So yes, if you like this, don't forget to subscribe, leave a thumbs up, and as always, I'm Bobby, and happy reading!